EPICK is a new, first-of-its-kind, peer-to-peer daily fantasy sports app, and you need to check it out. I'm going to give you guys a full tutorial on this new fantasy sports app, but also I'm going to show you how to gain an edge and best set yourself up for success when playing EPICK. Now, before I pull up the app and walk you through it, there's a couple really cool things you need to know about EPICK. Starting with, they don't limit any winning sports bettors. You will never find yourself getting limited, no matter how much you win or lose on EPICK. It's simply because they do not care who's winning or losing on their app. They're not like a traditional sportsbook that is incentivized to beat their user with sharp projections or moving their odds and taking away an edge from the user. No, this is a peer-to-peer fantasy app where as long as the user is beating other users, they are going to make money. EPICK doesn't make money by beating their users, as I mentioned. They make money by getting more people on their platform and placing slips on their app. And that leads me to another really cool thing about EPICK, which I kind of hinted at in my last clip, but you know how sportsbooks are always bumping their projections and odds, trying to stay as sharp as possible? Well, EPICK, they don't do that. As soon as their projections are set and up on the board, they are set. They never bump projections. So if you are a sharp sports bettor and you know how to find an edge, this is huge for you. Now, last two things before we jump into the actual tutorial, but on EPICK Fantasy, you can actually lose multiple picks in your slips and still come out profitable. I know it sounds crazy. It'll make sense as we go through the app, but also the biggest thing, you get the biggest payouts across the industry on EPICK. Now, here's EPICK Fantasy, and right off the rip, you can see this is what the board looks like. You know, pretty traditional, like normal DFS apps where you're choosing more or less on player props. And now for the tutorial, but after this, I'm going to show you guys how to actually beat these other users on EPICK. When you first load up the app, this is what you're going to see. This is known as the feed screen, where it will show you news about EPICK, and then also if you scroll down, where you can click to enter in 50-50 lineups or tournament mode lineups. Up in the top left, you will find your balance, but in order to get a balance, you will have to deposit onto EPICK. To get there, you're going to click in the top right, the 3 bars, and then you could go to account. That is going to be where you're going to deposit. So once you click account, this is what you're going to see. Now I'm going to block out my name and my email, but you'll see yours up top. However, all you simply do is click deposit. Then, like any other deposit, you're going to link your bank account, choose how much money you want to deposit into EPICK, and boom, it's that easy. I guess I have to mention this, but this is assuming you have already signed into the app and created an account. So now you've deposited and you're ready to jump in and make some picks. First things first, we gotta find the board with all the different player props for us to choose from. Well, we're here back at the same little menu as before where we clicked on account. Instead, you're just going to go ahead and click board, and it's going to load up all the different player props for you to choose from. As you can see, there are currently a few different sports to choose from: MLB, NBA, and NHL. EPICK does plan to add a ton of more sports in the coming future. Now, this should look and feel pretty similar to other daily fantasy sports apps that you already play. You're just simply going to scroll or search for players and choose more or less on these player props. Now, where EPICK gets different and separates themselves from those traditional daily fantasy sports apps is at the top. You see 50-50 mode, and then if we toggle over here, it'll put us into tournament mode. Let's talk about those. Now, 50-50 mode is simple in exactly that. Win more props than 50% of the field, and you're going to 1.8x your money. This is a perfect game mode for anybody, whether you're a casual sports bettor, a sharp, or somebody just looking to grow your bankroll little by little. This is a great mode for you. It gets a little bit of the competitive juices flowing as you're trying to beat 50% of the field, and if you're good, you're gonna win quite a bit. Now let's look at this contest a little bit deeper. As you can see up on my screen, I have the opportunity to enter in a 50-50 contest, where 5 people have already joined. I would be the 6th to join out of 10 users, and you can see the entry amount for this contest is $5. EPICK sets different increments for different tournaments. So everybody that has entered this contest has paid $5, including myself if I was to enter. But there are $25 contests, there are $100 contests, a bunch of different dollar size options that you can enter in on EPICK. And of course, it shows your potential payout, which in 50-50 mode, it's always 1.8x. And then of course, the time and date in which this contest goes live. And now if I scroll left or right, you will see the different 50-50 contests that you could be entering. To the left is 2-man entries, ranging from $5 to $100 in entry fee. And then if I keep scrolling right, you will see 3-mans and 4-man entries that you can also enter as well up to $100 in each of those. In 50-50 contests, you don't have to hit all of your picks to finish above 50% of the field. You can see this user only hit 2 of 3 picks and still cashed out 1.8x on a $5 entry, winning $9. I mean, realistically, if you won just 1 out of 3 props and 5 people finished going 0 of 3, you would profit 1.8x. Now that's just pretty insane, because if you went 1 of 3 on any other DFS app, they would take your money. Alright, now let's talk tournament mode, but first, you might be wondering how I even got to this screen where I could select my contest. Well, if we go up in the top right again, we click this and we go back to feed, we see at the bottom there, it says join upcoming tournament. I would just simply click that, and now I can select what tournament option I want to enter. Now this is where EPICK's payouts get, well, epic. You can see a 2-man tournament mode entry gives you the potential to win 4.5x your money. Sure, there are 5 people in this tournament, and you have to beat them out in order to 4.5x your money, but if you tie for first, you can still win and profit. A 2-man on any other site is only going to win you 3x. A 3-pick tournament on EPICK gives you the potential to win 9x your money. The next closest in the industry is only 6x for 3-mans. And last but not least, for 4-pick entries, you have a chance to 18x your money. If anybody knows anything about 4-man entries on these other DFS apps, the max you can win is about 10x. Now it's probably pretty obvious, but the one thing to know about tournament mode is it's winner take all. If you don't come in first place, then you're not going to win anything. Unless, of course, you tie in first place, then whoever ties first place will split the pot. However, once again, you don't have to go perfect and win every play in your lineup in order to win a tournament. No, this player actually lost 2 of 4 plays and still profited money playing in tournament mode. And now let's actually enter in a contest and make some picks. So there's a few ways to do this. You can either select which contest you want to enter in from this screen here. You can decide what tournament you want to enter, click that, and then click at the bottom, make picks, and it will take you to the board. Or if you actually just go to the board, you can toggle between 50-50 mode and tournament mode at the very top. Select your plays and then choose which tournament you want to enter. I want to enter in a 3-pick 50-50 mode contest. Well, at the very top, you can see I am in 50-50 mode. Now I need to find 3 plays that I like in order to do this. Let's find 3 plays. Malik Beasley, over 13.5 points and assists. Sure, I like that. Miles McBride, over 6.5 points and assists. Awesome, we'll take that as well. And of course, Kawhi Leonard, over 1.5 steals. Why not take the claw over steals? Now, in order to confirm our picks, we're going to go ahead at the bottom, click confirm picks. We're going to look at our picks, make sure it is what we want, and then go ahead and lock picks. From there, we're going to choose which 50-50 contest we want to enter. Do we want to enter in the $5 entry, the $25 entry, or the $100 50-50 contest? Well, I want to enter in a $5 50-50 contest. We can go ahead and click join contest, and boom, just like that, we have joined a 3-pick 50-50 tournament, and boom, just like that, we've joined a 3-pick 50-50 contest. Now I promise that is not how I go about selecting the plays I want in my EPICK entries. I will show you how I gain an edge on the competition here in just a little bit. But first, I want you guys to learn where you can actually find your live contest, your upcoming contest, and your settled contest on EPICK. From the board screen, you can get to your entries at the very top. Next to board, it says entries. Just simply click that, and it's going to show you your live entries. You can toggle over to upcoming, which this is the slip we just placed, and even settled. But if we go back to upcoming, one of the cool things about EPICK, if we don't like the value we got on a certain play, or maybe somebody got ruled out, and now that play is no longer good, or you just simply want to change the picks in your entry, you can go ahead down at the bottom right, click edit picks. It's going to bring you back to the board. If you click confirm picks, you can actually slide and delete this play from your slip, and then go back to the board, find a play you actually like, click it, and now you can update your entry with different picks and get the best possible value. And now something that's kind of small but kind of cool, you can actually see the players you're going up against. If you click this lobby button from your entry, it will show you everybody that has entered in the same contest as you. Another way you can find your live or upcoming and settled entries on EPICK is by going to the top right menu again and clicking entries. It's going to bring you right back here. Now I'm going to show you how to beat the competition on EPICK and profit as much as you can. But before I do that, make sure you guys go download EPICK in the link in the description and use code DGF for a 5% deposit match on up to $1,000. I use this website called Daily Grind Fantasy to compare other DFS apps and sportsbooks lines and odds back to EPICK, PrizePicks, and other different fantasy sports apps to find the best possible value. Now, since EPICK doesn't change their projections ever once the board is set, This creates a huge edge for anybody that knows anything about profitable betting. Let me show you. Using Daily Grind Fantasy's middling tool, we can compare EPICK back to these other fantasy sports apps and find where EPICK's projections are off from the market. Oftentimes on a normal day, you can find value on EPICK that is better than PrizePicks Taco Tuesday, and I'm not kidding. Look at this top play off the middling tool. EPICK has Russell Westbrook listed at 11.5 points and rebounds, when the entire DFS app market, including PrizePicks, has this listed at 15.5 to 15 points and rebounds. So we're getting a full 4-point and rebound discount on EPICK when comparing to the rest of the market. It's a no-brainer to take the over of 11.5 on EPICK and gain an edge against the rest of the competition. Or even James Harden, that you can see is 2 full points and rebounds higher on EPICK than the market. Daily Grind Fantasy is extremely clutch for pulling all this information in from all of these different DFS apps and sportsbooks at one time to show you where all of these crazy discrepancies are. That way you can give yourself the best chance to win. Just think about the potential value you will find using this tool. Guys, if Jaylen Brown is listed at 21.5 points and then Jason Tatum randomly gets ruled out, you know what that's going to do to these projections? The sports books, the DFS apps, they're all going to bump his points line from 21.5 to probably 25.5 now that he's going to be taking over a ton more offensive workload. However, EPICK Fantasy is going to stay the same. He will still be listed at 21.5 points, so it would be a no-brainer to play him over 21.5 points on EPICK Fantasy and gain an edge over the field. I also see Jokic here, that is 3 off the entire DFS app market, so I have 3 plays that I can go ahead and replace that dummy slip I placed earlier. So let's go ahead and edit my picks and then replace them with these actually sharp picks. That way we can give ourselves the best chance to win our 50-50 mode. So we're going to go back and we're going to head and type in these guys. So Westbrook, we're going to go ahead and enter in over 11 points and rebounds. Here it is. And now we're going to go ahead and enter in James Harden, under 28.5 points and rebounds. Here it is. And then last but not least, Jokic, we're going to be taking him over 36.5 points and rebounds. Confirm picks. We see our edit, confirm edit, boom. And just like that, we've updated our entry to actually sharp plays that give us the best chance to win. Pairing up Daily Grind Fantasy and EPICK Fantasy is just that. EPICK. So if you guys want access to Daily Grind Fantasy, I'll leave a link down in the description. If you use code DustinDGF38, you'll get 25% off your first month of Daily Grind Fantasy. And last thing, everybody always asks about withdrawals on these tutorial type videos. Guys, it's just a normal withdrawal to your bank account like any other DFS app. Now, that is going to be it for our EPICK Fantasy tutorial. If you guys enjoyed or learned something about it, make sure you leave a like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out as we post sports betting content like this every single week.